Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2021 general readings. We are looking at the first half of May, so from May 1 to May 15, and this reading is for the air sign of Gemini, the twins. Welcome everyone. I hope you're all doing safe and well wherever you're at. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today, for watching any and all of the videos, for liking and sharing, for hitting that subscribe button. It really does help. For your donations, comments, feedback, reaching out for personal readings. It is all welcome and greatly appreciated, and many blessings back to you. Thank you. So this reading is for Gemini for the first 2 weeks of May 2021. That's if your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign is in Gemini. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Gemini. It's a general reading, of course, so it's always going to resonate a little differently for everyone. Might resonate in one area of life for one of you and another area of life for another of you. But the fundamental energy remains the same. So if you know all of your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, watch them all because they can each bring an additional insight and perspective. And if you find that any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, maybe take a deeper look at something or information about that, you can click on the little arrow below, click on the description link, which will give you contact details for me. You'll see my email address there. Feel free to email me directly. Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, and I can usually respond within the same day with that information. And I do readings full time. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent about scheduling personal readings in as timely a fashion as possible. So send me an email. I'd be most happy to hear from you. Okay, Gemini, let's see what the first 2 weeks of May have in store for you. I'm using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with Gateway to the Divine. And we begin with the Two of Swords, followed by the Devil, we have the Knight of Wands, followed by the Eight of Wands, we have the King of Cups, followed by the Page of Cups, and from the bottom of the deck we have the Queen of Swords, you standing in your own energy. I'm going to pull one more. And the King of Coins. So this represents overall focus and energy. So the primary energy or focus for the first 2 weeks of May for you, Gemini, is the Queen of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy, you standing in your own energy. The Queen of Swords sometimes is referred to as the divorced, widowed woman. You don't need to be divorced or widowed. You could be happily married. You could be single. But it's somebody, the implication is that she's been through quite a bit in her life or his life. And because of that, she's gained a vast wealth of knowledge and experience, even though a lot of those experiences have been painful. But what they've done is all that experience and wisdom has taught her to have razor sharp discernment. I mean, she can see BS coming a mile away and she has very little patience for it. She's probably intelligent, communicates well, but communicates very directly. You know, her sword of truth and reality cuts through any, extraneous fantasy and illusions about something. Even if her emotions are pulling her one way, typically she'll make decisions based on what she thinks is best and right and practical. And with it is the King of Coins, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, Sun, Moon, or Rising. It may be that this is somebody who is central in your life or relevant or important in your life right now. It could be that you're just also manifesting that your focus is the King of Coins energy, which is all about staying on top of your wealth, your comfort, your security, focusing on that, on what makes you feel good, maybe enjoying the nice things around you. We've got two kings here, so for some of you it might be a, three-party situation. We do have the King of Cups here. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, the king of water, the king of emotion. He sits on top of his emotions, which can sometimes mean that he's a bit of a difficult read. But he's reached a point where he's very balanced and in tune with his emotions and the emotions of people around him. And with this person is the Page of Cups. So there's some little message, emotional message or positive emotional message or kind of reaching out. The Page of Cups, in terms of messages or the beginnings of things, is very light, sometimes flirtatious. We have the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands here. Very fast, very spontaneous, impulsive energy. The Knights usually represent offers or opportunities for change. And the Knight of Wands is the Knight of Fire, so he's the fastest of all four of the Knights. Very spontaneous, aggressive, assertive energy. And the Eight of Wands is also a card of communication, travel, fast movement. This is lots of fire energy kind of pushing you towards something, or that you're compelled to go down, which isn't always... It's a bit out of character for the Queen of Swords to manifest this sort of energy unless she's made her decision on something based on fact and practicality and reality. But here it looks like some of you may be being blind to something. We do have the Two of Swords, which usually represents being at a crossroads. But here, and in most versions of the Two of Swords, the person is blindfolded and the swords here, they're down. Sometimes they're crossed. It usually represents feeling stuck, or that there's a reluctance or a resistance to take the blindfold off and look at what is right in front of you, because then, you'd have to make a decision or take action. And with that Two of Swords is the Devil, which is obsessive, addictive energies. Can represent a lot of things, addictions. It represents obsessive energy, a lot of energy in one particular area, sometimes to the detriment of others, which is, kind of the nature of addiction. The Devil doesn't always have to be a negative card, but the Two of Swords and the Devil can represent two things. And because this is a general reading, it might be that you're being blind to something because you've just got all this obsessive focused energy, which the Knight of Wands does too. I mean, the Knight of Wands, Knights, they have a mission and a quest to fulfill, right? And so once they're given that mission and quest, they immediately begin on it because they can be very single-minded and obsessed, sometimes even fanatical about what they're trying to do, gain, acquire, off and running. Especially with the Eight of Wands, this is really, really powerful, fast, spontaneous, impulsive movement forward. And with the Devil card, it feels a bit... it could be like falling in love and just throwing call caution to the wind and everything else to the wind to pursue this thing, because that's what it looks like. Might not be a love relationship, it could be a job, it could be anything really. But the Two of Swords with the Devil can, for some of you, mean being blind to something, not wanting to look at something because you're obsessively focused on something else. The Queen of Swords is usually the first one to see the truth and kind of pinpoint it and face it head on. But here in the Two of Swords, you're not. You're stuck. The card preceding this is the Ace of Swords, of course, where you do see everything. It's the epiphany, the light bulb going off over your head. And here in the Two of Swords, because the cards are in chronological order for a reason. It's about the process and flow of how we walk through life and what we learn. So there's like the epiphany with the Ace of Swords, and then here in the Two of Swords, it's stuck. Okay, what do I do with this? Maybe I don't want to do anything with it right now. I don't want to look at it right now. And then there's this Devil obsessive energy. It's like being blind to something and rushing headforth into something because there's all this like obsessive energy. It might be a relationship. We do have two kings showing up here. It might be, that you're in a relationship with one but moving towards another, or there's two different options here. If you're in a three-party situation, whether it's romantic or otherwise, your focus would be on this King of Coins, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or somebody who manifests like the King of Earth, solid, stable, reliable, generous, comfortable. And you might be ignoring this little loving message or a message for you from this King of Cups For some of you, it might be that there's this obsessive focused energy on your physical, financial, material wealth and comfort and security, and that's what you're pursuing, even though there may be a little love offer or love interest in you from this other person. Let's clarify. Strange reading. Let's clarify this King of Coins. The Six of Swords, moving away from some trouble or challenge and healing. The Ace of Cups, new love and romance, or self-love and self-awareness. And the Ten of Pentacles, which is long-term stability and security, particularly in the financial, material, physical realm. In a love relationship reading, it may be that you are moving towards or into a new relationship with somebody because they offer you more comfort and security, stability. It could be financial and material stability as well. It could be emotional stability as well. For those of you for whom this may not be a relationship reading directly, it may be that you have somebody who's interested in you. It may be somebody new or somebody older or something, somebody you already have had a relationship with or was in. But your focus is on your own comfort, security, stability, healing. And the Ace of Cups can represent not only new love and romance, but it can represent the beginning of having a deeper understanding and awareness of your own value and beginning to come to a sense where you're loving yourself as well. You know, self-worth and self-value. And because of that, you're focusing on yourself and what makes you feel good and what you need. Maybe even obsessively focused on that. Let's clarify the Two of Swords and the Devil. Actually, let's just clarify the Two of Swords first. The Tower. The High Priestess. The Devil again, so we have the Devil of Twice. And the King of Pentacles. So we have the King of Pentacles and the King of Coins are the same. It's the King of Earth. So we have the King of Pentacles, the King of Earth twice, because that's shown up as your primary focus, and the Devil twice. So this is either going to be a relationship energy, and this is the person you're almost obsessively focused on having a new beginning with, because they can offer you what maybe somebody else or somebody else didn't. Or it may be that you have this obsessive energy about your own, security and physical comfort, finances, material aspect, and that's what you're focusing on, especially in the realm of long-term security and stability. It might be a combination of both for some of you. Let's clarify the original Devil. What's the root of this obsessive energy? It may be, sometimes I see this show up for people who, the Devil represents obsessive cycles, often toxic and unhealthy. Not always, but often. Sometimes I've seen this come up for people who are kind of addicted to the beginnings of relationships, like when you first meet someone and, you're kind of in that first flush and everything's all bright and sparkly and cool and exciting. And then as you begin to form a relationship and maybe you figure out what things you don't agree on or see eye to eye, that's when kind of the shine wears off and you go off to something new. And this is a cycle for you because you can't get past that it's about the follow through in the real life of a relationship, because relationships are living things. They need to be fed and watered too. So this might be that for some of you. Clarify the devil. The Eight of Cups, leaving, walking away. The Hierophant, convention, tradition. The Eight of Wands, again. Whatever it is that you're moving towards, you're just like you just really do it. You're rushing off and doing it. The Four of Pentacles. You're leaving behind the norm, Gemini, because that's what the Hierophant represents. Convention, establishment, tradition, cultural identity, marriages. The Hierophant is the conventional norm of what people adhere to, which is why it often represents things like government, marriage, organized religions, universities, institutions where everybody's kind of on the same path, basically kind of doing the same thing. It may be that you're leaving whatever the Hierophant represents for you. It could be leaving school. It could be leaving a religious community. It could be leaving a marriage because you feel perhaps stifled, because you feel like you've lost a sense of identity or self-expression. Clarify the King of Cups. Who or what is this King of Cups to Gemini? The Nine of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. The Nine of Wands is somebody who's already walked quite a long road. They've already fought a number of battles, and they're reaching a point where they're close to being at the end of the cycle, because the Ten of Wands would be the end of the cycle. And they're feeling depressed, discouraged, because it's just battle after battle after battle. They're tired. They're wondering if they should give up. The Five of Pentacles is insufficiency and lack. It might be financial or material insufficiency and lack. It could be emotional insufficiency and lack, feeling shut out, feeling on the outside. And this is the energy that's going with the King of Cups. So it feels very much like a relationship energy where you either are or have left a relationship or connection with a person because you weren't getting what you needed from them, whether it's financial, material, or emotional, or some combination of that. There's instability here, and it really means that it's not enough. What you're getting is not enough. And you're tired of it because it feels like it's a cycle. Maybe that's the cycle you're leaving, and it feels like it's stifling to you, and you're moving towards someone or a situation which is offering you the long-term stability and security that you really need, and a healing energy. Clarify the Page of Cups. The Hanging Man. The Ten of Cups. The World. The Knight of Cups. The Six of Cups and the Four of Wands. Yeah, this King of Cups is somebody that you already have a relationship with, or have had a relationship with, or perhaps are in some kind of break or separation mode. And the message that they're giving is, it feels like, this feels like somebody who has either treated you poorly, or whatever the issues have been, it's been, over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And maybe you've left them, or you're in a break, or you say you've had enough, and now they're coming back at you with this message. But I'm offering you the sun, the moon, the stars, offering to give you, everything that you want: marriage, commitment, stability, security, the happy home, all of that kind of thing, moving up to the next level. And they're waiting for you. They're waiting for you. I mean, look at this. The Knight of Cups, the World, the Ten of Cups, the Four of Wands. This is like somebody that you've been, wanting them to marry you for forever, and now that you've left, all of a sudden they are. But there's somebody else or something else, some other situation here, whether it's another person or whether you're just like, I can go off on my own and focus on my own stuff and be enough for myself rather than waiting and depending on you because you're promising me all this stuff. But frankly, I don't believe you because I've just been doing this for too long and I'm too tired. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. And of course, it's a general reading, not a personal reading. So for some of you, whatever this King of Coins is, it might not be another person that you're moving towards. It just might be you've decided just to go off and focus on your own and love yourself and stay with that for a time, that you can give yourself alone what you couldn't get with this other person as part of a partnership of some kind. Gosh, we're already at 21 minutes. So it's an interesting reading. It's clear with some stories and fuzzy with others. So let me just end by pulling any messages or advice and guidance from Spirit as to how Gemini, any messages for Gemini for the first 2 weeks of May regarding this situation. The Tower, which we've had twice as well. The Ace of Cups, which we now have twice as well too. It looks like you're going to be moving towards whatever this Ace of Cups represents for you, whether it's another person truly offering you what you want, or whether you're just making the decision that you can do better on your own, provide your own comfort and stability on your own for a time. And you're willing to just kind of let this tower fall down, or, blow up this Hierophant world that you've been living in, or whatever, because you want long-term security and stability. Fundamentally, regardless of how the specifics of this play out for you, Gemini, because everybody has their own stories here, whatever is the big event that you're thinking about doing or have done, whatever this Ace of Cups represents for you, it's a new beginning. It's a new beginning that carries with it the promise of the long-term security and stability that you really need and crave. Even if it's an obsessive energy, fair enough, because this other one didn't. This other one left you feeling hungry and insufficient and like you had to beg for what you needed. So it feels like you may have left this situation and the other person is like, oh, well, now I see, now I get it, and here you go, here's all this, but there's another offer on board here. And it feels like most of you, whether it's another person or you're just going off on your own because you can do better on your own, that looks like that's what most of you are doing, and it looks like that's what Spirit is supporting for most of you as well. Free will, free agency, of course, but that's what it looks like. Interesting reading. It feels a little fuzzy around the edges, but it's going to resonate for somebody and be helpful for somebody, which is what I always hope it is, that it's helpful for you, Gemini, and in that sense, I hope it has been. That is your reading for the first half of May. I hope that you find it useful, gives you some perspective or insight. Again, if any of these readings resonate with you and you would like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading, feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. You can also get that information by clicking on the description link below. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the May mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe, stay well, be blessed. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.